in 2024. Elections took place in over 70 countries with a combined population of around 4 billion people. That's nearly half of the world's population. A total of 1.7 billion people cast their votes across the globe. Let's dive into some of the biggest elections of the year. First up, the largest elections by population. India led the way with a population of 1.4 billion people. The United States followed with 345 million people. Indonesia had 283 million voters. Pakistan saw 251 million voters. And Bangladesh had 173 million people voting. Now, while some of the election results were expected, there were plenty of surprises too. Elections were held across every continent, from the Solomon Islands and Tuvalu in the Pacific to countries all over the world. The global voter turnout was around 61%, but some countries saw far lower or higher participation. Tunisia had the lowest turnout with just 28.8%. But even with that, Kais Saied was re-elected with a strong margin. On the flip side, Rwanda had the highest turnout, an incredible 98.2%, with Paul Kagame winning his fourth term with 99.18% of the vote. In Iran, voter turnout dropped to 39.9% following the death of President Ibrahim Raisi. Over in Uruguay, a new left-wing coalition, the Broad Front, emerged victorious with the Amandu Orsi winning by just 3.9%. Now let's talk about some of the major election results. India held the world's largest democratic exercise with a staggering 637.4 million voters. But despite this massive turnout, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party did not win a majority, leading to a coalition government and the end of his decade-long majority in parliament. In Indonesia, 166.4 million voters picked Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto as their new president. This was his third attempt, and finally he secured victory. Over in the United States, Donald Trump returned to power, defeating Kamala Harris in a highly polarized race. Trump won with 77.96 million votes, not a landslide, but enough to reclaim the presidency. In the United Kingdom, we saw the lowest voter turnout in 20 years, but a snap election brought Keir Starmer and the Labour Party back into power after 14 years of conservative rule. Meanwhile, the populist reformed UK party gained traction driven by economic and healthcare challenges. In Togo, President Faure Gnassingbé secured another sweeping victory, extending his family's long rule. Several incumbent leaders secured re-election, though some had to rely on coalitions after losing parliamentary majorities. These included Abdelmadjid Tebboune of Algeria, Ilham Aliyev of Azerbaijan, Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, and Paul Kagame of Rwanda. In countries like Russia, Venezuela, and Tunisia, leadership remained steady. In Russia, Vladimir Putin won his fifth presidential election with a massive 87% of the vote. Meanwhile, Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela faced protests following his re-election in July. But some leaders could not hold on to power. In Bangladesh, despite being re-elected, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina faced intense protests and eventually resigned, going into exile in India in August. Muhammad Yunus was appointed to head an interim government until new elections could be held. Finally, Syria saw dramatic changes. President Bashar al-Assad won his fourth term in May. But things took an unexpected turn. In December, opposition forces took Damascus in a lightning assault, ending the Assad family's 50-year reign. This surprise offensive led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and its leader Ahmad al-Shara saw an interim administration take charge with plans to draft a new constitution and government. As 2024 comes to a close, it's clear this year has been one of the shifting political landscapes, with elections playing a pivotal role in shaping the future of many countries. From re-elections to surprising upsets, 2024 has left its mark on global politics.